Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Today we are joined by our friends from the Italian Workmen's Club here in Madison. My friend David Rizzo's back to talk about 2025 Festa Italia, 26th year.
Yeah, I think
in
it's 20,
Fitchburg.
I think it's 26. I may have gotten that wrong by a couple of years. But
We're gonna say it's.
I was at
it's a
Public
lot.
Works the other night getting our all our permits and permissions and all that. Yeah, it's since the turn of the century we've had McKee Farms Park be the Festa home, and people expect to find us here. It's been that long. I mean, a quarter century is a fairly good chunk of time. So we're just happy to be back at McKee.
Well, we're happy to have you back here in Fitchburg, certainly, and certainly glad you're taking the time. Festa Italia 2025 is May 31st and June 1st. Last year you switched to 2 days,
Yes.
and you come back this year and doing 2 days again, a Saturday and Sunday. So how did it work out last year, moving it back a day, so to speak, but still rocking it out?
Yeah, it worked out fine. We had a few people show up, Friday, assuming that there would be a pasta dinner waiting for them. But very few. I think we did a good job of getting the message out that we're Saturday, Sunday, and we're repeating that. Anytime you try to put on a outdoor festival, I think a lot of people don't, unless you've done it, you don't really understand all the details behind the scenes of putting something like this on. We're not the size of Bratfest, okay? I'm sure a lot of people have been to that. We're more Middleton Hometown Days or Good Neighbor Festival or the Verona Hometown Days. We're that sort of mid-sized community festival. And it takes a lot of volunteers to working behind the scenes to make that happen. And we have found, I think, a little new comfort area with the Saturday, Sunday agenda.
I like it. I think you pack it in, you're packing it in for the 2 days, and, you got the 2 long days, so to speak. Friday night, you kind of like get off work and, you never know. So this way you get the whole day to kind of rock it out, so to speak. For people not familiar with Festa Italia, what is the event all about?
Well, it's really about food, music, culture, sports, and fun. Now, I'm sure there are a lot of festivals that would maybe say the same thing. But very few are going to have the type of Italian food that we have to start out with. You can get anything from a spaghetti and meatball dinner, you can get pizza, you can get Italian sausage, meatball sandwich, olive salad, cannolis, Italian cookies that are made by the Italian American Women's Club. And we also have kettle corn and some other things to snack on while you're maybe having a beverage. But then we also have music, and we have traditional Italian music, usually during the day, and some light jazz. And then we kind of let our hair down at night, and we bring in rock bands, and we've got a pretty good reputation for bringing in some very good local acts, and sometimes we even import some from out of town. So we have some great music, lots of culture. The Italian Workmen's Club itself started in 1912, so what is that, 113 years old now. Now, we've been doing Festa since the early 70s. It used to be a little block party over on Regent Street. You can't imagine blocking off Regent Street now, but back then they were able to. And then it kind of evolved into more of a summer picnic, and then eventually into the Festa that we all know and love right now. But we've got a separate tent that's called the Culture Tent, and inside there you're going to get everything from cooking demonstrations from Italian chefs around the city to presentations about the Italians who immigrated to Madison back in the early part of the 20th century and how that whole transition evolved over time. So lots of cultural things. We also have sports, Italian lawn bowling or bocce. And everybody always looks forward to who's going to be the competitors in the Fitchburg Bocce Challenge. So we'll find that out sometime Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, I got to work on that. I've got to get the trophy back, really, is what I need to do, because I lost that to fire last year. Anyway, that's besides the point. And it's a family-friendly event. So, like anything, the events, as you say, there's lots of events, lots of different things going on, but this one's for the whole family as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially during the day, you've got, we're going to have Wayne the Wizard, who's there with his magic show and balloon sculpting. We've got Karen, who, the face artist, who's also going to has now been bringing her daughter, who she's sort of bringing along.
The training,
another
future,
face artist.
yep.
And they do some wonderful things with the tattoos, the paint tattoos on the faces of the kids. And then we also have our own little toss games where you grab a rubber chicken and throw it and win a prize. There's lots of games for little kids to just enjoy. And like I said, during the day, it's kind of about Italian culture. We also do the Italian flags parade and presentation. Italy is broken up into 21 regions, and each region has a name and a flag that is paraded across the fairgrounds there. And then a little reading about a couple paragraphs long for each of those, just kind of explaining what that particular region of Italy is famous for. Some of them are wine countries, some of them are famous for pasta or pizza or what have you. And so there's always a little bit of education there for people who have heard it for the first time.
That's, I think, the best part. So not only are you getting the culture, you're getting the food, you're having get to do the sports and stuff, and you get to the entertainment part. As you would mention, you're famous for bringing in some pretty awesome bands. What are the big headliners this year when you do put your hair down and put your feet up and enjoy some good music?
On Saturday afternoon, it starts out with Jerry DiMaggio, and that, again, she and her combo have a really good repertoire of light jazz. And she's been sort of a Festa fixture over the years. Then we got a band coming in never before on Festa called Rare Element. They're a instrumental brass band that plays a lot of funk and jazz. And then Saturday night, the highlight band, or the feature band, is VO5. And I believe they're celebrating their 25th anniversary.
Wow.
If you haven't seen VO5, they are kind of like a disco funk band. They got the various colors in the hair, and they're about a 9-piece ensemble that just does a wonderful job. Great party band. So they close it out on Saturday, and then on Sunday, one of our members, actually, Joe Scalisi, has done for a long time his Dean Martin tribute happy hour presentation. So he'll be doing his thing on Sunday afternoon. And then we close out with the Jimmies, who are very famous from Mount Horeb area. We haven't had them here for a number of years. Actually, it's going back pre-COVID since we've had the Jimmies.
I was going to say, I was trying to figure out, I'm like, boy, I know the Jimmies have been there, but
yeah,
it's been a while.
They were there quite a few years, but they were over at Verona Hometown Days for a few years. And so now they're coming back over here, and we're happy to have them back.
All right. Well, again, reminder, Festa Italia 2025 at McKee Farms Park is May 31st, June 1st. As far as admission goes and getting into this, what do people need to know as they come out?
Admission is $7, and that gets you access to all the entertainment and sports and fun and whatever else you want to do. Obviously, food and beverage is also to be paid for, but the community that gets involved with the with Festa, once you get in that gate, it's kind of like, hey, you're on your own. It's like this. It's a fairly small footprint. It's you can traverse it fairly quickly, but people just enjoy getting out, meeting neighbors. Sometimes just kind of getting together with the same group of guys or gals, splitting a pitcher of beer or a bottle of wine and a dinner. It's just a really good community feeling.
Well, if it's my wife, she likes the cannoli, so we show up with the family, get the pasta dinner, and then get the cannoli, and finish the night out that way. But nevertheless, it's so much fun. And just finally, this is a fundraiser for the club. So what? Let's talk about quickly where the funds raise. What you're doing with those?
All the profits, or half the profits from the festival, go toward our scholarships. We do award between $7,000 and $10,000 worth of scholarships each year, and we'll do that again this year. And those are for high school seniors who are going to either progress to a 4-year or a 2-year trade program, which has become increasingly popular with the cost of 4-year education, et cetera. And college isn't for 4-year college isn't for everybody, so we try to take care of both. And then a good portion of the balance of the profits go toward building upkeep. Our building was constructed in 1922, so it's over 100 years old, and it needs upkeep and upgrades, and so that's essentially what you're doing, or what we're doing with the event.
All right, David, if people want to learn more about the event, I'm sure they can follow you on social media or the website. How can they find you?
Yeah, please check it out, iwcmadison.com or Facebook at iwc.com.
All right, well, here's hoping for good weather, good sportsmanship, good entertainment, and good food all on a fun weekend coming up here. Really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Jeremy.